show us a Jesus who, like Esther, was willing to engage in courageous conversation. Nowhere is this more explicit than in the story from Luke's Gospel that I will read this morning. This story begins with Jesus talking to the gathered crowd about the importance of tending to your soul, that it might be filled with the love and wisdom of God. He compares our life to a lamp shining for all to see when we have the courage to let that light shine. He is then invited by a Pharisee in the crowd to dinner. It is at dinner that Jesus' courageous light shines because, rather than simply being the polite and silent guest, he challenges all the Pharisees gathered to clean up their souls so they might be a light rather than unmarked graves to others. This courageous conversation brings light to the hypocrisy and injustice of the Pharisees' actions, not simply to shame them, but to speak out for wisdom and compassion in the world. Reading Luke 11:33-53. Jesus said, "No one, after lighting a lamp, puts it in a cellar, but on a lampstand, so that those who enter may see the light. If then your whole body is full of light, with no part of it in the darkness, it will be as full of light as when a lamp gives you light with its rays." While he was speaking, a Pharisee invited him to dine with him. So he went and took his place at the table. The Pharisee was amazed to see that he did not wash before dinner. Then Jesus said to him, "Now you Pharisees clean the outside of the cup and dish, but inside you are full of greed and wickedness. You fools! Did not the one who made the outside make the inside also? So give for alms those things that are within, and see everything will be clean to you. But woe to you Pharisees, for you tithe mint and rue and herbs of all kind, and neglect justice and the love of God. It is these you ought to have practiced, without neglecting the others. Woe to you Pharisees, for you love to have the seat of honor in the synagogues and be greeted with respect in the marketplaces. Woe to you, for you are like unmarked graves, and people walk over them without realizing it." When Jesus went outside, the scribes and Pharisees began to be very hostile toward him and to cross-examine him about many things, lying in wait for him to catch him to say something he might say. Hear what the Spirit is saying to the church.
Thanks be to God.
Thanks, Jeannette.